We're doing things a little bit different this time, guys. Okay, a little bit different backdrop. My real backdrop, what I see when I'm painting, my painting wall over there. So we're gonna do a little step-by-step walkthrough of what, in my opinion, how you find your style. It's a little bit of an experimentation process, I will say that. But over time, I think you will kind of get a grip on what you like to do versus what you don't like to do. And that is basically the equation of your style. What do you like to do? What do you not like to do? What kind of colors do you like to use? What colors do you not use? That's like the very foundation of what makes up your style as an artist. So let's go over here and figure out how I did it.
Your lips on mine, I love it when we hide in the pale blue sky, floating on cloud nine. Do you feel the winds are turning round? 'Cause what goes up must always come back down. I'll be safe in your arms, like the light in the day never part. I'm looking down the line, with you by my side I'll be fine. To earth, it's just as good as up there. I'm gonna keep you near, 'cause you're all I need, my dear. Do you feel the winds are turning round? 'Cause what goes up must always come back down. Safe in your arms, like the light in the day never part. I'm looking down the line, with you by my side I'll be fine. Yeah, I'll be fine. I'll be fine. Yeah, I'll be fine. Yeah, I'll be fine. I'll be fine. Yeah, I'll be fine. Oh, I'll be fine.
Okay, we're over here now. This is my beautiful desk. Okay, so we're gonna start with Pinterest. I'm using my iPad because my phone has my notes on it, but let's just take a look here, okay? So we're gonna go into Pinterest. Pinterest and Instagram is usually what I use, and we're gonna see lots of cute stuff. Now you'll want to put things into boards because then when you look back through them, it'll be more organized and you might be able to tell like, oh, I really like these styles or these colors, and it'll make a lot more sense to you what you like. Again, foundation of finding your style is what you like. So going through, I have boards for specifically art related things. I've got inspiration, cute things, nature. I also have a lot of reference photos. I use reference photos for basically everything. I also have like a color palette type board because I really like to see the use of other colors. I know I have a specific kind. I'm trying to branch out of the colors that I use, but for now it's just pastels. Okay, so the other thing that we're gonna go to is Instagram. And Instagram, wow, is crazy on the iPad. I didn't know that What you want to do on Instagram is start saving all of the art posts and things you like. You probably already do this, but there's going to be a place in Instagram that you can see all of the things that you've liked and have saved. Again, it will probably be your preference of the things that you like and your styles that you like. So for me, as of lately, I have really gray and like dark paintings because I like pastels and I've been doing pastels for a while. I really like grayed out colors. There's lots of people that I follow on Instagram that have this particular dark art style. After you're done with Instagram and Pinterest, you will grab your sketchbook. And this time, you're going to see if I can find the page. So this page that I'm going to be talking about is basically what I've done is I've written down every artist that I follow on Instagram that I want to implement somehow. Some of them I've implemented now or in the past, or some I've decided that I'll do in the future. So for instance, I really like the way that Audrey Kawasaki does everything basically on wood, which obviously like I've been doing. Wood is just an easy thing for me to get as well. Paper's a bit expensive while wood is basically free for me at the moment. Love the way that she does her faces. I actually started drawing faces like that when I was in high school, and then a friend told me about Audrey Kawasaki. I was like, oh wow, we have very similar ways of drawing faces. I've since developed mine a little bit differently now. Moon Mixter, as you will see, I think that's how you say it, on the right page and kind of the middle. I really love the flowiness and the very rounded features of these little, basically doll-like people and women that he draws. I don't tend to draw a lot of poses and positions, but that's actually something that I'm going to be working on this year, is how I can implement that into my art a little bit more. I think this time around, I have a very clear image in my mind what I want that to look like, and it does involve having to draw people correctly. But anyways, so this guy really gives me the confidence, and what I've done is I've drawn some figures that he has, like I've redrawn them, and to try to kind of make sense of how to draw his figures. It's kind of the same thing when you're learning how to paint and you're painting master studies and you try to do it like them. And when you're trying to figure it out like them and like their style and like their way, after it's kind of like engraved in your head a little bit, you implement those kind of techniques in your own artwork by yourself, because it's kind of a way to store that information in your head, and then later on you will just be able to recall some of that information and problem solve within your own artwork. The other ones I've got on here is Audra Claire, Lisa Ivanova, Kelsey Beckett, Per Fleur, Gareth Jones, and there's one that I've followed since a very, very long time, but I cannot say his name to save my life. Anyway, so what I've noted basically next to these is if I like their faces, if it's surreal, lines, their line work, if I like how simple it looks or how maximalist it is. There's lots of things to consider. Sometimes I just like landscape. Sometimes I really like the mood of something, which again is more, I think, plays into color. And then whether or not things are realistic or if they're highly illustrated, which I tend to love the illustration of everything. The other thing I did in here was, sketchbooks to me are basically, you're just learning. And that's what a sketchbook is for. A sketchbook is not for permanent things. At least in my personal opinion, it shouldn't be. I've made the mistake of putting so many nice things in my sketchbook and realizing, man, I could have hung that up on my wall and I didn't, because it's in a sketchbook. And obviously I don't want to rip it out of my sketchbook. Some other things that I have in here is like learning things. So again, this was my stint of trying to learn how to draw a pose in the body and to learn anatomy. That's something I've done in here. I have copied, and when I say copy, I mean a redraw. I don't mean like get out the tracing paper. I have copied other people's style and tried to draw it my own way. So like these two heads, for instance, was something I saw, and then I just made up the hair randomly. But there's like lots of things in here where I've tried to draw what I've seen from other people. This especially, like faces, right? So faces I have taken from Kelsey Beckett. That's where I learned how to draw faces proportionately, which sometimes I still go back and I just do my own thing and it doesn't turn out proportionate, but it looks like I did it instead of a grid, which sometimes I like more. So yeah, sketchbooks are very important, and then also taking note and reference of other people's work, what you like. Again, thinking about line, color, mood, contrast, thinking about, composition is a really good one. I follow a lot of people for their composition pieces, whether or not you like people or faces or landscapes, seascapes, I mean, really anything content-wise. So yeah, now we've got the good stuff. So I'll probably put in the little time lapses right here. This is the first thing I tried. I have recently seen on Instagram and Pinterest that have been popping up is just line drawings. I originally did my line drawing on a sketchbook paper, which again, I screwed up. I did not know that I was going to draw something that I loved on literally notebook paper. Hate that. But what I did learn from that experience is that I do really, really well with grids. I did not realize, no wonder everything in my high school notes were covered with drawings was because it was gridded. I guess I do really well with grids. I learned that about myself. Literally, 2 months ago, I did a really nice one. I tried to recreate it on this, and I just wanted it to be this gradient because I was kind of rolling with pink and red. So I took my leftover paint, painted it on here, did the line work, and I really like it. Unfortunately, some of it chipped. It got chipped off of here. And then we've got this one. I actually started with this one. The other one was the second one. This one was the first one. I should probably go in order. So this was the first one. I hated how it turned out originally. I didn't think I was going to take a black marker to it until after I had painted it and realized, oh man, this is garbage. I need to change it. And again, had to problem solve there. And I was like, you know what? I think if I added a lot more detail with a black pen, it would look a little bit more cartoonish and probably define the details a little bit better. It might look better. And you know what? It does look better. It turned out better than it was. So I'm very happy with that. Obviously, it looks completely different style than this one, even though I used black pen. The way I went about it was different. That one was an oil, which I should mention this, but when I change mediums, my style changes, unfortunately. This is just how I normally draw, so pen or pencil, because I did it in pencil first. And then my gouache painting, this is how I actually paint, I would say. This is the most realistic one. And this one, I started out and I hated it, but I do have an artist that I follow that does these kind of rustic copper looking buildings. Man, I forgot what his name was. I'll have to tag him. He does like a bit of splatters. So if I get real close, you might be able to see that it's got splatters on the building, and it kind of looks, again, rustic, a little bit torn. Love it. So obviously these are all 3 different styles, 3 different representations of what you can do with different ideas, different input, different people's ideas. You can kind of mix and match. And again, it just kind of comes out to whatever you like. What do you like doing? I really love using pink sometimes, which obviously That's what happened here. This third building was actually originally pink, believe it or not, but it turned into this brown, copperish, reddish building because I had to problem solve. Again, I mean, art is just about problem solving. So yeah, let's see. What else do I got here? So if you want kind of like an easier, broken down way of how to find your style, step 1 would be learn how to copy things. And I don't mean with a tracing paper. I mean, that might work for some people, but realistically, you want to know what your hand is capable of drawing. So learn to copy things that you like. Make sure to take notes of the things that you specifically like. I have so many sketchbooks with just notes upon notes upon notes of what I like to draw versus what I don't like to draw, what has been integrated into my style. Step 2, research. And then step 3 is implement. Hopefully by this point, if you're implementing, then you've done the heavy lifting. All the heavy lifting is basically just input. It's just knowledge. You're just putting things in your head. Once you actually sit down to make whatever piece you want to make, the information and the things that you like to do will hopefully just come out of you. All right, hopefully this was helpful. Thumbs up if it is helpful. Hopefully you can find your style this year. Okay, well, love these. Love this. It's really not that hard. I don't know why people make it so hard. Go find your style. Go find your style. Okay, bye. See you in the next video.